Get ready for a tale that's rocking Canada to its core. Picture a province bursting with oil, gas, and ambition, yet chained by a capital that treats it like a resource colony rather than an equal. Alberta, the lifeblood of Canada's energy, is fed up with Ottawa's games. Today, we're plunging into a story of defiance, bold deals, and a seismic shift that's left the Fed scrambling. This isn't just about pipelines. It's about a province seizing its future, forging ties that could redefine North America's energy map, and shouting, "If Ottawa won't lead, we'll carve our own path." Hang on tight, because Alberta's rebellion might just ignite a Western revolution you won't want to miss. Alberta is done with Ottawa's broken promises and suffocating red tape. Until we see ironclad proof of real change, we're building walls against federal overreach. I'm pumped to unveil a top-tier negotiating team, handpicked to fight for Alberta in showdowns with Ottawa. They'll demand long-overdue reforms. First, we need guaranteed access to Pacific, Arctic, and Atlantic ports to ship our oil, gas, and minerals worldwide. Imagine Alberta's riches fueling global markets, locking in jobs and wealth for decades. Second, Ottawa must quit meddling in our resources, our land, our rules, our destiny. Third, no export taxes or restrictions without Alberta's green light. And fourth, we demand the same per capita federal transfers as Quebec, Ontario, and BC. Why should we, Canada's economic engine, get less? Alberta's just shattered Ottawa's polished narrative. While Mark Carney's crew stalls pipelines with eco-excuses, Premier Daniel Smith struck a bombshell deal with the U.S. The ink's fresh, the stakes are sky-high, and the message is deafening. For too long, Alberta's been told to wait, bend, and choke on federal climate rules while our resources rot, landlocked. No more. If Ottawa won't build our future, we'll find partners who will. In Washington, this deal's a game-changer for energy security, delivering steady crude when global markets waver. For Alberta, it's a multi-billion-dollar lifeline, sparking jobs and prosperity. For Ottawa, a political train wreck. Carney's built his brand on control, but this move shows his hold crumbling, and Canadians are watching it collapse in real time. This isn't hot air. It's rooted in brutal facts. Flashback to Northern Gateway, a $7.9 billion vision axed in 2016. Energy East, a $15.7 billion titan, smothered by new regulations. And Trans Mountain, Ottawa's pet project, soaring from $7.4 billion to over $30.9 billion, a fiscal fiasco. From 2015 to 2020, $150 billion in energy projects vanished, taking thousands of jobs with them. Investors now see Canada as a death trap for big ideas. Carney calls this green leadership. In Alberta, it's a chokehold. Oil's our top export, yet federal barriers trap us while the U.S. builds and ships freely. Bills like C-69 and endless consultations aren't about saving Earth. They're about controlling Alberta's wealth. While we suffocate, Ottawa pours billions into its favorites. Quebec's aerospace has pocketed tens of billions. Ontario's auto industry swims in subsidies. No environmental fuss there. The double standard screams, play by Ottawa's rules, where your wealth stays locked away. But Daniel Smith's fighting back, eyeing a Northern Gateway revival in BC, once killed by Trudeau. She sees alignment with BC's Premier David Eby, but any new plan hinges on deep Indigenous partnerships. 35 nations held equity before, and that's the starting line. EBC's economic promise, but wants private funding first. Alberta's U.S. pipeline deal is a beast. A 42-inch giant pumping 1 million barrels daily to refineries built for our crude. We've invested $350 million in land and compliance, with export hubs at Prince Rupert, Kitimat, and Churchill, opening Asian markets. Carney's in meltdown mode, with ministers hurling legal threats, branding us rogue. They're desperate to derail us, but we're not alone. Saskatchewan's backing us, and Manitoba's watching closely. Why? Resource Wealth Fund hospitals, schools, and communities. If Northern Gateway, Energy East, or Keystone XL had gone ahead, We'd have 2.5 million barrels daily, adding $55 billion to GDP yearly, with 40% to governments. That's game-changing. Alberta's also rewriting the reconciliation playbook. Ottawa's consultations mean delays and staged photo ops. Smith countered with a $3 billion equity stake for Indigenous nations. Ownership, board seats, profits, and real power. They're not bystanders. They're partners with lasting wealth. For the U.S., this deal's a slam dunk. They burn 19 million barrels daily, produce 13 million, leaving a 6 million barrel gap. Alberta supplies 80% of Canada's oil exports south. This pipeline ensures a tariff-free flow. Carney calls it a sovereignty sellout, but Washington sees a North American win. Yet $176 billion in projects died from federal red tape, bitumen bans, pipeline blocks, net zero threats. It's crushed investment. This exposes Canada's breaking point. Alberta and Saskatchewan hold 75% of oil production. Alberta alone pumps $340 billion into GDP, 14% of Canada from 11% of its people. We've sent $250 billion in net transfers to other provinces, yet face project cancellations. Keystone XL, Energy East, Northern Gateway. Ottawa must scrap barriers like the Impact Assessment Act, tanker bans, net zero rules, and EV mandates. Only 4.2% of Alberta's 2024 car sales were zero emission, yet the feds want 20% by 2026. The Clarity Act looms. A clear referendum vote forces separation talks. This pipeline proves Alberta's independence, financially, legally, strategically. Carney's green agenda, tied to global finance, aims to crush our industry while he cashes in on the green wave. His Canada sidelines Alberta. No pipelines, no oil, just Eastern dominance. That's a direct threat to our way of life. Can Ottawa stop this pipeline?